It's Sunday, September 15th. I'm Cameron Bailey, Artistic Director of the Toronto International Film Festival. Here's a film that will melt your heart. It's called Enough Said, and it's by the American director Nicole Holofcener. She has made a series of dramas that capture the delicacies, the nuances of relationships. They're often quite funny, but in the end they can be heartbreaking as well. This one especially so because it stars the late James Gandolfini. He's playing opposite Julia Louis-Dreyfus. The two of them play middle-aged characters who have both fallen victim to divorce. They're trying to find new relationships. They begin a tentative search for someone new, but they're bogged down by their past and by what their exes sometimes say about them as people. It's a fascinating immersion in the world of these two people who are trying very hard to reach out to each other, but in the end are their own worst enemies. Gandolfini is fantastic, and the relationship between his character and Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character has the range and the dynamism that we don't often get to see from these actors because they don't do films very often. This is one of the last films that James Gandolfini made, and it's a real pleasure to see such a strong performance from him in Enough Said. Here are two films that will thrill you. The first is called The Double by UK director Richard Ayoade. He was here at the festival a couple of years ago with a film called Submarine, which was his directorial debut. In this case, he's made a film that's a little bit different than Submarine, not as straightforward a comedy, more of a kind of a paranoid fantasy in the style of something that Roman Polanski or Charlie Kaufman might have dreamed up. This is based on a Dostoevsky book, and it's the story of a man who comes to work one day in a very dystopian world that he works in and finds that there's someone who looks and sounds just like him but has almost the opposite personality. Where he is withdrawn and insecure about himself, his double is confident to the point of arrogance. Both characters are played by Jesse Eisenberg, who is really good at conveying the differences between these two men who may just be mirror images of each other. He gets both the nebbishy insecurity, the nervousness, the anxiety of the one character, and then the complete brashness and arrogance of the other. Mia Wasikowska is the love interest who's caught between these two men. She's very strong as well. And then you've got Richard Ayoade crafting this story within a very strange, eerie world that feels a little bit like a Terry Gilliam universe. This is a dystopian world where the most unlikely things could actually be true. The film is called The Double by UK director Richard Ayoade. Under the Skin is the new film from Jonathan Glazer, who made Sexy Beast and Birth. We have been waiting for this film for a very long time because the premise is so intriguing. Scarlett Johansson plays a woman who prowls the highways and the empty roads of England searching for men. She is in fact a sexual predator. But she's more than that because not only does she seduce these men, it turns out that she's delivering them to someplace quite mysterious. I don't want to give too much away, but this is based on a celebrated book, and it is a remarkable performance from Scarlett Johansson. Although she's meant to be a sexual predator in the film, she doesn't play up her sexuality or her attractiveness. She really has a kind of a menace throughout the whole film, and Glazer directs the film with a kind of Kubrickian calm and coolness. It's a very icy approach to direction that he has here, and it draws you further and further into this very disturbing, dark, and menacing world. You don't exactly know what's going on until the end, which is quite a shock. The film is called Under the Skin from Jonathan Glazer.